you know what, G, I think everybody's entitled to make a choice, and I think it's very important that these people make a choice. But to label yourself or call yourself a businessman, to literally, like, look, when I was, you know, around these people, right, and that's literally, we're basing this off of a true story, right, where Dino came from, the whole idea of going into the freestyle business, right? The whole concept of these freestyles, these discussions, calling out wannabe fake businessmen, etc., etc., all that came from a need to, you know, air my frustration, my grievances, because I was sick and tired, right? I was pissed. I was up to here with, you know, with the amount of lies and the amount of garbage bullshit that I you know, heard, consumed, and what didn't change was, it didn't change. It just, you know, it was just basically, you know, they're out here, you know, and they're trying to change the, you know, the way it works, the way it plays, you know, they're trying to change features, and it's like, all we want is to just have it the way it was. And that's where businessmen came in, like the fake wannabe businessmen. And I really respect myself. I respect myself so heavily. Like, you know, I'm the king, right? When it comes to I'm the best, right? Facts. And I call my enemies out. And the reason I call them out is because I know in my mind, I know they ain't real, bro. They ain't serious. They ain't on it like me. And they'll be like, what do you mean by that? What do you mean, like, they're not on it? And I'm there like, well, you know, I'm embarrassed. I'm so embarrassed, because when I look at these wannabe fake businessmen, right, and I say it like that, and it just, queasy, man. It just, in my insides, you know, I feel sick to my stomach every time I say it. Like, even when I think about it, it's like, it frustrates me. You know, it just makes me get angry that I'm at that level. I'm at that point where it's just like, freestyle business, you know, discussion time, you know, and I love making freestyles, mate. And there was a specific thing, you know, like I'm trying to think of the exact line I did, and there's two freestyles that I made for the channel. There was Zigging, that was Flexibeat. There was Kato's Horn that I did, and I listened to a little bit of them when I was, you know, before I shared them, before I put them on public, and what resonated with me after hearing them back was, I've seriously been done dirty by that many people, you know, and it's a concept, and it's sort of, you know, it's a level where, you know, there's only so much an artist like myself can take, you know, and I scroll through these videos, I scroll through these posts, you know, I see these vermin in the comment section and DMs and all, and I'm there like, I'm an artist, right? And I ain't in no bitches DMs, I ain't in no bitches comment section. I'm an artist, G. I'm making freestyles, I'm slewing these cunts, these rats, pagans, etc., right? All of that, right? And I look at them, these fake businessmen, and what I specifically say is, like, if you're a businessman on the context, you're there to challenge yourself. I'm here to challenge myself, yet I'm not a businessman. I wouldn't lie to people and say, yeah, I'm a businessman, and, you know, shake hands, whatever. Like, I like to take that, you know, feedback respectfully, because I'm a respected, you know, and responsible fellow individual, you know, and I'm also that confused fella, you know, but there's a certain code and moral that I stand by, and I think there's so many times, you know, I look at these people, I look to them, and more so, I look up to these people, you know, what ethnicity or what race or, you know, what orientation they are, like, on the premise that they are, you know, I look up to them for inspiration. I try to get I try to get to it. I try to say, because people will look at me and be like, what's the point, you know, and there's a purpose to this, and many people can just fall into this line and think, you know, it's for them and it'll work out, you know, in 1 minute they'll be calling themselves the next best thing, the next big thing, and I'll look at them like, no you're not, bitch, no you're not, don't lie to me. And again, it's the same principle, because they fucked off, bro. Like, you can ask me bare times when you look at New Park, right? Where did Lloyd go? Where did Shane go? Where did Mitchell go? Marco, Brett, you know, Shane Taylor, Mark Burrows. Where did all these fake fucks go? They fucked off. They went back home. They took their ball and they left, and they never returned. Do you know why they never returned? Because they didn't care about this business. And this business was basically keeping these facilities running. It's a crazy thought to have in your mind, but that's schools. Like, I never, like, the thing is, right, if I was to call them schools, right, if I was to call them like elementary school or high school or whatever, that would be me respecting and abiding the rules. And I'm not a respectful, abiding rule person. I'm a rule breaker. And the reason I say this with all due respect, because I like to look at things like, I'm not here for a long time, but I'm here to gather skills. I'm here at these training facilities to better myself. And I think the thing that I've taken away from majority of these places is that they provoke me, you know, provoke my rage. And that's one of the reasons why when I play Mortal Kombat, Scorpion is my favorite character, because he sort of, those lines that he comes out with, whether it's recorded or, you know, it's, you know, it's not playful banter, it's serious. And you're in that game and you're controlling that character, and you know, and it's one of the reasons why I love those type of games. And when I was younger, you know, growing up, younger, when I was younger, no. Listen, right? Again, when I was at these facilities, I need to start saying it like that. When I was there, you know, and I'd come back from the facility, you know, I would put my PlayStation 3 on, put in COD, Modern Warfare, and I'd play online. You know, I'd play online with different people, random people I didn't even know. Some would add me, so I would add them, you know, we'd play, whatever. And the interesting story, well, the interesting thing to take away from that was, you know, back then you know, even being around people, I was to myself. You know, I wasn't established, I wasn't well known, I didn't have haters, I was a loser, I didn't have, you know, I wasn't Dino, I wasn't like you know, a person who wrote bars or slewed cunt bitches, or I wasn't, listen, stop laughing bro, it's a one take thing. No, but listen, I wasn't in the freestyle business. And you know, I think a lot of people will try to cut you off when you rap or when you talk, and you can't let that happen. You know, you gotta stand out, bro. You gotta, yeah. And I do that. I do like to think that at times I do stand out, because it's very important. Because a lot of people will lie and they will hide behind other people. They will idolize fake people and think what they do is acceptable, it's right, but it's wrong. You know, and when people say there's levels to this shit, or you know they wanna swear at themselves, or you know they wanna disrespect themselves or belittle themselves, or you know have like, you know, and I'm just there like, you have to have self-respect. Because in this generation, in this day and age, there's a lot of people out here that have no respect. And I've always been that individual, even when I'm in the freestyle business, right? Because it's the freestyle business, you know. Well, it's when I say that, I mean it's the, I don't want to call it the music business, because I could say that, right? And other people be like, well, make music with me, and I don't want to write music with you, I don't want to collab with you. There's a certain person I would love to, you know, work with and collab with, but that's a different story, you know. And he, you know, like JR, he's one of my favorite YouTubers, right? And he's out here looking for different stuff to cover on his channel, and he really needs to hear all these positive things. And that's what I try and show and try and share. Like, I don't want to be one of these vermin that just has this, you know, negative approach on us, on a you know, person that's up and coming. And I think that's very rare, because if I look at you and think you're an up and coming, you know, entrepreneur or artist, then I believe in you. I will follow you and, you know, show you support, you know, all of that, right? And from me, you know, that's a very big thing. You know, everybody wants to, you know, support people, but not support people, but just say they want to, you know, just for the sake of it, you know, just because they want to get in contact. And I look at that, and I'm just like, I look at myself as a character and how well established I am, right? And I'm not even in the business, but when I think about the freestyle business, I'm like, I'm in the freestyle business because of the work that I've put in. And it's not just the work that I've put in these discussions or in these freestyles. You have to take it back to these facilities, all the paperwork you did, all the vermin that you had to conversate with, all the long hours, you know, waking up every day, going to these facilities, being there, having to listen to all that shit. You know, that's basically you putting the work in, bro. You know, and even if it was like your parents or someone that you knew took you out of that, right, and said, come with me and, you know, we'll do some shit. We like, you know, for me personally, it's like, I don't give a shit, because, you know, I respect people that want to. I respect people that are like, want to try different things, because in life is too short to just say no, bro. You know, and that's kind of what I look. When I look at these artists, I think a lot of them are just fighting for relevance because they ain't got fuck all else to do. It's true. It's true, bro. If people could control your thoughts, right, or control what you say, you wouldn't be an individual free of mind. You'd just be a slave to the system. And I think one of the things I respect in my mind, and what I try to fight with, obviously, it's, you know, it's my darker self, essentially. You know, it's not like a, you know, mixed feelings or whatever. It's literally like there's my feelings, and then there's obviously how Dino feels, which is, you know, my aggressive nature, right? And there are often times I often think to myself, you know, I recognize how far I've come, you know, and how hard I've literally worked in these, you know, for the past few years, right? I'm around these people, and one thing I can truly take away from every experience that I've had around them is my time and energy or whatever there was never returned. What I essentially mean by that was, you know, when you look at these experiences that you have with these people, it's only ever once. It's only ever a one-time experience. You know, you won't ever see these people again. And that's what I'm trying to say. Like, it's not a personal, you know, connection. You know, it's not like a personal arrangement or whatever. Like, it's business. You know, and essentially, you know, when you look at these facilities, they're a business because they're essentially trying to keep you in there. And I look at myself and say, I've always been thrown out, kicked out, removed, banned, excluded. I use all those words, and I use them to my advantage, because I think if people didn't want you to, and essentially it's what I mean from the start of the video, if people didn't want you to have this type of these kind of thoughts in your mind, your brain, you know, that type of energy, like you're just aggressive all the time, like you're angry because you're, you know, they'll make excuses about you and try and take you out of the situation, and you'll be like, well, you remove me because you're scared of me, and it's the truth, right? I think there is a moment in your life where you just think to yourself, what the fuck, man? Like, why are these people gonna move so dodgy, so fake for? And there's a reason why people look at other people differently, why they idolize people that are crooked or bent or fake, you know. And I obviously look at myself, I look at you know, Dino, obviously think to myself, I can't believe, you know, I'm that guy.